Thanks, RJ. We're going to jump over to my topic. My topic is City focused again. Sorry, Lonnie. Um, City is attempting to plant their flag at the top of the credit card podium. Do any of us think that they did? I don't. And will Strata Elite and the American Airlines transfer partnership materially affect the other card issuers? So, what I mean by this is, like, for the longest time, we've always said Chase doesn't have to do anything because nobody's coming after Chase. Well, Citi just landed the most valuable airline currency in the game with American Airlines. Chase is probably going to have to take notice. American Airlines, I'm sorry, Delta and American Express haven't had to do anything because Delta gets so much spend. Delta points aren't the same as American Airline points, but Citi landing American Airlines and what that could mean for the value of Citi points and the value of Citi cards, does that affect American Express? That's what I mean here. Lonnie, I will turn to you first this week, and then we'll go to RJ.
So, two-part question. The first part is, did they plant the flag at the top of the podium? No, I don't think they ever will get to the top of the podium, no matter how good their card is. So I'm not going to say it's good. I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm just going to say the people are never going to allow it. They're never going to allow something over a Chase or an Amex to be at the top of that podium, to plant that flag. Those flags are never coming down. So I hate to say it, I'm just going to use Apple again, especially here in the US. What's the best phone out there? Everyone's going to say iPhone. You ask if someone that has an iPhone, when did you use any other phone? I've never not used another phone. And what are you comparing it to? You don't know. And that's going to happen the exact same way. So it's like, oh, this is the best card out. The Citi card's actually really good. There's no way it could be that really good. It's just the way that it is. Also, go try a Samsung device or a Pixel device. Straight up, people.
What about nothing?
Chill. Actually, nothing's not very bad. Nothing is unique, and I think as a new to the tech space, from a hardware standpoint, they're relatively new. Only been around a couple of years now. They came out very strong, but they also had one of the greatest tech marketers, Carl Pei, leading the pack, who, of course, co-founder of OnePlus. Just get out of this country and then ask somebody what a OnePlus device is, please. But Carl Pei knows how to gain attention, and I think he'd knock that one out of the park. But also, it's pure Android, so yeah, it's doing well, especially in the type of market and competition that they have. But we don't need to get into that tech nerdiness because I can go all way longer than that. So the second part of your question, did the AA transfer partnership have an effect? I think yes. I think that's definitely, no matter what, going to turn heads. Don't forget, they got to do it, Matt. Got to do it. Got to say your favorite. Built came out of the gate with an AA partnership, and they were able to ride that coattail for years before they lost that partnership. But people pay attention to where AA transfers because you can't really transfer to AA. Like nowhere. No one really transfers to AA. So the simple fact that it's not even, it's actually exclusive to be able to transfer to AA. It's really hard to get points and miles and backdoor bookings with AA. There's only a couple of backdoor booking routes that you can even take to end up with AA. And so to be able to provide another way to directly get to AA, no matter what, I don't even fly AA. And even I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. It turned my head, not going to do anything with it, but at least it garnered my attention enough to be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Wow, that's kind of big. Chase didn't do it. Amex didn't do it. Don't act like they don't got the money to do it. So yeah, you got to give them credit for that. Now, is it going to be an absolute game changer? It is if you fly AA. If not, well, you got to fly AA and want a Citi card. But if you don't fall into those two buckets, it's not really going to move the needle for anything else. But other card issuers will be paying attention. I will say other card issuers will pay attention to see the pros, cons, positive effects, and see if they can duplicate that for their partners as well. Wouldn't surprise me if Like Amex just says, we're going to go all in on Delta. Chase says we're going to go all in on United. And then we're going to have this travel portal transfer partner war, even more so than we have now because of this.
So redoubling efforts, not necessarily trying to outgun City at the multiplayer game that City
Oh, exactly.
has over them. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look at points boost right now with United. Like the second that thing opened up, I'm like, oh, this is great. I just had a conversation with Joe, called me out of the blue last week, and I ended up helping him out with a United booking through Points Boost, where I'm like, the Points Boost plus United, once again, very niche. You got to have a chase card, you got to fly United, but if you fall check off both of those boxes, i.e., myself, it's effing great. I see this as a duplication of that, where this whole AA thing for the right person could be great. And could this be that pivot point that allows you to pick a partner or pick a card ecosystem and fully lock in and say, screw my other all the other ecosystem options. I'm going to go all in on these, or finally just pick a partner and be like, I can get the best value through this particular method. I don't need to fly anyone else. I'm speaking out of experience here. It can happen. I'm living proof of it. So yes, I see this could be very have a really strong effect on the game and on the market. And like I said, with if Chase and Amex look to the left and look to the right and they see what City and AA are able to do, maybe they're starting to eat some of, their their card holders, or they, United or Delta start losing people as they start going over to the City for the AA, going to American Airlines. Yes, that's going to turn heads. That's going to make people want to change, or at least the card issuers want to change their business model. These are the types of things that we need. This is that good competition. This is that good trouble, to use John Lewis's words, that we as consumers want, because good competition works out great for us. That's probably where points boost came from. Make it even a stiffer competition and give me 2.5, give me 3 points boost right out of the travel portal. I'm all in for it. And I don't need the City card. I just need them to put pressure on Chase and United to do so.
No, it definitely makes sense. RJ, your thoughts here.
So I don't think they actually were trying to be on top of the pile. I don't think they
Okay.
were going for number one. I don't. I think they wanted to be in the conversation, and I think they accomplished that. Because now, if somebody is going to say, hey, I travel, I want to get a premium card that offers me something, right? Okay, now you have the Platinum, you have the CSR, you have the Ventrex, and you gotta mention the Strata Elite. Whether we think it's the best card or not, it's gotta be mentioned. Right? And just that ability to be mentioned in the conversation, or when people put like the top, cards together, the top end cards together in the space, they're gonna have to now include this one. That is enough, I think, for them to have won at least a battle. I don't know if they've won the war yet. Nobody knows if they've won the war yet, but they've won a battle, which is being mentioned. They've won a battle. They have a direct partnership with AA now. Now you have to mention them when you talk about Amex and Delta and you talk about Chase and United. You have to now mention Citi and AA because those are the three legacy carriers. And those are the three companies that are directly with them and have been in different circumstances for a long time. And they're who, after the Barclays thing with Citi, are going to hold those AA cards. So they have now entered the conversation and nobody can deny them that spot at the table. That is a win. That is them doing their job. I do not think they were going for the CSR or the Platinum. If they wanted to go for the CSR, they wouldn't put their price at the old CSR price. They
Yeah.
would have gone higher. They weren't going for what the platinum is going to be, what the CSR is now, or will be in October. If they're going for a different place, they're going, I think, more directly at the Ventrex than they are at the platinum or the CSR. And they're going for people who like American. Because if you don't like American Airlines, they already know they're probably not your preferred if you're not heavy into American or one of their other airlines that you can backdoor two different ways. So I think Citi did a lot of good here? Some. I think anytime 1.5 becomes the floor on a high-end card is a good day because that is going to put pressure on Chase and Amex and all of the others. This is not just the Venture X is at 2x for everything. This is another major card that is not 1x. That is also good. You can ignore it on the Venture X because it's only 2x. You cannot fully ignore it now because there's two cards out of the four main ones that are not 1x everything. That is important. So I think there are things here that Amex and Chase are not going to be able to ignore. They're just not going to be able to because they're smart companies, more or less, run by smart people, more or less, who want to make money. So I think they would ignore it at their peril. And American Express now has the ability to see what the baby refresh on the Venture X is, the launch of the brand new CSR, and the entire new launch of the Strata Elite. Amex is in the 4th place. They're doing the last refresh of the major 4 cards. So we'll see. We'll see what pressures them. Because if they come out on the platinum with the usual 5x on airlines and suddenly it's 1.5 everything else, that's going to tell us a lot. 1.25, like, also going to tell us something, right? Like, it is going to tell us, that refresh is going to tell us how the war is going to go. We don't know yet. There's no way for us on today's date to know how the war is going to go. But for a battle, Citi did better than I expected them to do. It is not a card for me. I will say that till the cows come home. But it is a card for someone, and I can tell you who those someones are, right? You got another Citi card, you fly AA, you don't want to get a direct AA card because you want some flexibility with where your points are going. Maybe you only fly a couple of times a year where there is an Admirals Club that you can easily access and you want a couple of passes, but you don't need a ton, right? There are people this card is a perfect match for, or a close enough perfect match that the Platinum doesn't work, the CSR doesn't work, and the Venture X doesn't work. There are people this card will work for. That is a win. This card is taking that 1.5 and running with it. That is a win. They are coming in at the old CSR price point. Also a win. Citi won a battle. You don't win a war by winning a single battle, usually. Usually there's a couple more you got to fight. So we'll see. People going on Reddit and being like, I got this card, I made a purchase, and now I got to wait 7 days for a code to come in the mail because my account is locked, is not great. Citi's customer service is not great. Their history of you not being able to put things in your mobile wallet consistently is not great, right? Like, those are challenges that they will have to battle. But I would consider them winning the first battle in this war. I would consider it a win. Getting AA 1-to-1 at any point is a win for Citi. They launched a card that gives you some things. Again, this is not a card for everybody. The Platinum refresh is not going to be a card for anyone. I just hope it's a card for me. I don't care if it's a card for anybody else. I just want it to be a card for me. So I get what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from, Matt. I absolutely do. But I don't think Citi was going for number 1. I think they were going for number 3, and I think they nailed it.
Fair enough. No, competition's good. I do think this will open competition. I'm curious to see what, if anything, might happen with regards to that competition. I would love to see either new multipliers or redoubling on some multipliers or looking at some of the multipliers that City's doing. I wouldn't necessarily do, okay, weekend dining, or like just say weekend dining gets you a higher elevated multiplier than just being from 6 p.m. Eastern to 6 a.m. Eastern. That is a weird thing to set your hat on. But if you
Still like the
say
name City Nights. Still like it.
it's great marketing, it is. Chase dining weekend would be fine. And anyway, uh, I'm interested to see how Chase and Amex respond. I'm interested to see how Capital One will approach things going forward, because they have the weakest of the ecosystems. And it'll be interesting to see what US Bank in the future may or may not try to do, and what Wells Fargo will do, because Wells Fargo's, they're dealing with some stuff right now, but they're late to show up. But when they show up with cards, they show up hard. So we'll see. Um, yeah.